Well. Welcome to another edition of the Hustle Effect. He said, she said.
Say my name, say my name.
There we go, baby. There we go. We're going to get this thing popping off tonight. I want to welcome everybody for tuning into the show. First thing that you got to know, if you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, you got to do your boy the biggest favor. Twitter, share the post. Like, don't be one of these motherfuckers that sit up here and enjoy all of this foolishness that's going to go on tonight, and you ain't took the time to say, I'm going to share this with some other niggas out here today. So at the end of the show, I'm going to be looking to find out who shared shit, and I'm going to give some shout outs at the end of the show. But let me go ahead and welcome this wonderful cast with us today. We got the wonderful, beautiful Miss Nada. How are you feeling today?
I am good. I'm good.
That was all Jesus-like and holy. I came with that great explosive ass intro. And I'm good. Jesus has touched my heart this week. And okay. Anyway, what's going on, Ida? How you feeling, baby?
What up? 7 days countdown. I'm feeling
7 days. Now let me let everybody know what the 7 days is that I just got cussed out about. My beautiful Ida will be having her motherfucking birthday next fucking week on Tuesday. So guess what? That means during the show, I'm going to do a little something special. And I'm going to send her a little something because that's just what I do. You feel what I'm saying? Because I love you like that, nigga. You get on my motherfucking, you get on my motherfucking nerves. But I love you like that. That's how we're going to get down with that. And last but not least, we have a very special guest with us today. This young lady I have known for quite some time. We've been chopping it up. We supposed to do some years ago. But, you know, God works in funny fucking ways. You know what I'm saying? She's here with us today. She heard us talking shit last week, and she said, nigga, can I come sit down with y'all and chop that shit up? I said, well, motherfucker, of course. Well, everybody, welcome Miss Beautiful Miss Dan E. How you doing, baby?
Hello, my loves. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, baby. I've been waiting on you for a long time. I'm waiting for another person that you know to come on and fuck too. I'm looking for two niggas on this screen, but one of these days we're gonna get there. We're gonna work it out as work it out. Well, y'all know what we do on the show. I try not to hold no time and keep, y'all listen to the 2-minute intro and I be sharing the show. That's why y'all be like, why the intro so long? Motherfucker, because I'm sharing the show so that when the show starts, I ain't sitting here with the phone. So check this out. Y'all know what we do for the first 30 minutes because we try to give people time to chime into the conversation. At 7:30, we going dead into our conversation. And I'm telling y'all, tonight is that heat is very serious. And I can't wait to hear what people got to say about it. But this first, I ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to play this motherfucker. And y'all think about this motherfucker right here.
Fuck is you talking about? And you not talking to me. You are not talking to me. No, you not. You are not talking to me. So come with it. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna box my food and I'm gonna finish my food and then I'll leave. That's okay with me, baby. I got a lot of money in my account. I asked her to turn it down and she got snappy with me and she just threw a whole box at me. I come up here and I play pool all the time. So all the box at me, sir. Period. I'm in a white place like this because I came up here to play pool. This is the only place with a pool table in the vicinity. So that's what I'm doing in a white place. That's what I'm doing in a white place. That's what I'm doing in a white place. That's what I'm doing in a goddamn white place. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. But guess what? Because I can come out and spend my money how I want to. You taking our comment very offensive. All that. Really snazzy. Period. I took it there. I know you racist. You look like a racist. But that's why you're poor. Most racist people are poor.
Okay, let's talk about that thing. Let's talk about that thing right there. We got a young black lady. Said she just wanted to shoot some motherfucking pool. But she ended up walking into the wrong fucking bar. She walked into a bar that was a racist bar. They ain't like niggas in there. You heard she got into it with the bartender, niggas behind the counter, and a nigga sitting down in his chair. So What do you think about this particular clip living in today's society and recognizing that there are still situations like this? Nada, talk to me.
So there racist does not mean what people think it means. So we need to really define what the word racist means. Um, and I'm trying to think of the definition, but it's not coming to me right now. Um, and you guys know my story. My hometown is predominantly white. I went to a predominantly white school. So I've dealt with and seen racism all my life. So it's gotten to a point where I am accustomed to it and it does not bother me. You know, I know that they're ignorant. You would think that they know better, but unfortunately they don't. When I hear racial slurs or, you know, racial implications about certain things, I just chalk it up to just learned behavior. It's something that they learned from people previously. So I just chalk it up to just being dumb.
Okay, Ida, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you now. I live in a state where the KKK headquarters is still yet live and prevalent, which is North Carolina, right here in Rocky Mount. I don't live in Rocky Mount, but I live in the Bull City. We only an hour and so away. It's very prevalent when we walk outside our own houses and they look at you and you like, can I help you? Racism is very king and it's even stronger since we had the orange puff in the White House. People are just more blatant with it. They just, you know, since orange puff was since he was president, people are now showing it even more. You think people used to think, oh, racism is not as bad. Racism is not as bad, but it is. They show it more. They're like, oh, we can show it. We can do whatever we want to, and they feel like they can get away with it. Anything they want to do, like these Karens, they can think they can do whatever they want to do, but they don't realize they got the wrong one. Mess with me if you want to.
Miss Danny, talk to me. What do you think about this shit in 2022? And motherfuckers walk into a restaurant thinking they just gonna shoot a little pool because they just trying to blow a little steam off. You know, just enjoy themselves for a few minutes, and they walk into a situation like that, and racism is smacking them dead in the face.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. The way she handled it, I salute my sister because she sounds like she was fed up. All I'm trying to do is enjoy myself right now. And you're taking it upon yourself for whatever stupid, emotionally unintelligent reason you have that you want to come at me right now when I'm minding my business. I want to shoot some damn pool and I'm not bothering you. I'm with them. The people who decided that they wanted to say something to her, the white people, they're very much so ignorant and stupid. And she is correct. Majority of the people who are white supremacists or are racist, and I do understand that those two have different meanings. Okay. 9 times out of 10, they don't have anything going for themselves, which is probably why they are feeling less than like they are and needing to bring someone else down the side so that they feel better or bigger, standing upon someone else's demise or whatever you want to call it. So I like the fact that Data said that the definition of racism, which is according to, you know, the Oxford language, the noun is a person who is prejudiced against or antagonistic towards people on a basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. So that tells me how you feel about you ain't shit. You don't feel shit about yourself. You don't like yourself. You don't love yourself. You don't even want to be around yourself because you feel the need to bring someone else down in size so that you feel better about yourself. I'm so good. Mind your business. I'm a mind mine. I probably wouldn't have said anything unless someone did something to me. I'm gonna enjoy myself. Fuck you.
Break down this definition again. Read that definition to us one more time.
It says the noun is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or is marginalized, or, and I'm going to add this, or suppressed.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting that we live in 2022. We've had a black president, and we still have areas in which, I hate to say it this way, that we need to be aware of, because that situation could have been all bad because she was black in an area. If they would have fucked her up, they would have stuck together. If they would, you know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking scary because let's just say, for instance, you go on a trip and you know, got a 20-hour ride. So you pull over and say, I want to pull over to this little spot for a minute because I'm hungry. And you might walk into a place just like that. My suggestion is this, though. Sometimes you have to fight. You got to learn to pick your battles. You have to learn to pick your battles. Just because you're right doesn't mean you got to say something. Because in that particular situation, and I'm lucky that nothing happened to her. She was outnumbered. It wasn't a situation that if it would have turned up, nobody would have been on her side to help her. You know what I'm saying? And some people can't control themselves enough in certain situations. Some people just feel like they got to be heard. Sometimes you can be right and be quiet as fuck and just keep going about your business. Gonna move on to this next clip. This next clip, it bothered me a little bit. It's a situation of a young man and a young lady, and it's a domestic situation. So I want y'all to watch this clip. After we watch this clip, I really want to have a serious discussion about what you think this young lady should be doing in this particular situation.
Why you ain't down there? Huh? Huh? You ready to go round two? What the fuck wrong with you? I said talk. Feeling sorry for yourself for fucking up? I didn't do anything. I told you to take out that trash. You didn't take out that fucking trash. I took out the trash. The trash is out there. Yeah, off the cans all over the floor. I was getting to that. You came up here, watch go and set your ass down. You wouldn't even give me a chance to take medication for my foot. You know what? You didn't say nothing about no goddamn medication. I had it in my hand. You knocked it out. You saw me taking medication. I don't give a shit. You didn't say nothing about it. Hurry up. I was literally taking it. Wait, why you was doing that? I was literally taking it. Didn't do nothing wrong, bro. Just want a reason to put your hands on me. I don't need a reason. Because you done so much shit I should have the fuck out. You disrespected Tierra while I was gone. I told you got off light. She disrespected me. She put her hands on me. That ain't disrespecting. I just didn't say nothing or tell you the whole story. I don't feel like going back and forth with y'all. Just say whatever y'all want me to say, just so I don't have to get in trouble or I don't have to explain myself 50 million times and be caught a liar or nothing. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut. Get those cans, take care of that trash on the floor. What the fuck you say? You say what's wrong with you? Huh? Get your ass. Get your ass. Don't tell me what you gonna knock this. Get your ass up. Don't tell me what you finna not fucking do. You gonna learn real quick. Get your ass up. Stop kicking me. Let me alone. You can't get your ass up. Oh, you're ready. If you're trying to can you let me just get out? Fucking time. I'm not fucking with you. Get up. I don't give a shit about you crying. Oh, I'm sorry. Get your ass up.
arms already. Couldn't get up. My leg is already messed up. I know the
I'm sitting here watching this shit and like literally, I got hair sticking up on my arm because just looking at them, right? You can tell that she's not, we got a lot of black women that they the pop-off chicks, you know what I mean? They the chicks that like to turn up, they like to talk shit, you could tell by her demeanor and the way that she was responding to him while he was going off on her that that's not her MO. You were hearing her say, you just be fucking me up. You're hearing her talk about he obviously has another child in the house. And that child is able to talk to her crazy, and she can't say nothing back to the child. I got an issue with that. I got an issue with if I'm fucking you and you so happen to have a child, I should be in a position to speak to your child. I should be. If not, you don't need to be fucking with me, period. We don't even need to be on the same fucking boat. You feel what I'm saying? To me, that is a level of disrespect that needs to be checked on the highest level, because this is what pisses me off about niggas like that. Niggas like that don't act like that with other niggas. They don't. They don't. Another nigga that told that motherfucker shut the fuck up and he would have calmed himself down and all that shit. But just because I see Nas is in the conversation, turn your phone sideways so we can see you fully when I bring you in, bro. But it's a difference when, it's so sad to me to see a woman or a man, because there are men out here that are in relationships with a fucking woman and they getting their ass whooped by that fucking woman that they with. You feel what I'm saying? This is real life. We're gonna have this real conversation, right? But when a motherfucker goes that far to display his dominance,
that wasn't a display of dominance. That was a display of bitch ass.
But in his mind, it's displaying dominance. You understand what I'm saying? In his mind, that's displaying. Like, I got a dog, right? My dog pisses me the fuck off, and I have fucked my dog up for doing some shit. But I wouldn't do my dog in that way. My dog gets treated for doing shit that he's doing out of pocket. I just don't wake up in the morning and see my dog and he come up and sniff me. And I just be like, you bitch ass nigga, I'm gonna throw your ass through the. You feel what I'm saying? If I wouldn't do a dog that way, why the fuck would you do a person that way? Come on, talk to me. I see you got your mind is on this one, Danny. Come on, talk to me.
I am livid at watching that shit, because this is not the first time I've seen that shit. It's not the second time or the third time that I've seen that shit on somebody else. It ain't ever been on me. That's a bitch. You sat there and got mad at somebody because some doggone trash, which, if in my personal opinion, bitch, you pick it up. If you want that shit done so fucking bad, you do it your motherfucking self. And he even said, I don't need a reason. I got so many reasons I can whip. No, nigga, you ain't got no reason to whip nobody ass. Somebody need to check your fucking ass. I bet. I'm sorry. I hate to be like this, but that's a motherfucker I want in my face. And I want to dare him to do that shit. I've done this. I've been here. I've been at a dude that was beating a bitch ass in a room next to me. And when I come up to him and I ask him, oh, so what's up? You want to her come at me? Then your ass want to bitch up and walk away and run. Man, there's no dominance, there's no nothing. You a bitch, and the only reason why she is there with you is because she doesn't know she got another option.
Yeah, that I felt that. I felt that because when she said, "I'm just gonna sit here and you're gonna do this to me anyway," and I'm just trying to shut the fuck up. I said to myself, man, I said, I know a lot of women that I wish would have shut the fuck up at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? But not in that situation. Not for a woman to be devastated like that. Because she was, and this is the killer part. I only saw a glimpse of her face for a second. But she looked like she was under 26, 27. She looked like a youngster. And what's fucked up is she's going to grow up, and we're going to talk about this later on tonight. She's going to grow up fucked up with her mentality and wondering what a man is and her perception of what a man is. So the next nigga that she might come across, it might be the same situation because that's all she knows. And she doesn't know how to get out of that. Come on, talk to me, Nada.
Being that I have been in domestic situations, male or female, you have absolutely no right to put your hands on anyone. When there's children involved and you allow your child to speak to that parent, male or female, in that manner, I have an issue. And the fact that she cannot discipline that child for speaking to her in such manner, that really bothers me. That is not a display of dominance. That is I see a man with low self-esteem. He has no value. He has no self-worth. So in order for him to feel good about himself, he decides that he wants to beat on a woman. He has seen that display of behavior before, whether it was with a parent or if it was he seen one of his homeboys beat somebody up. He has seen it before. I don't care what a person does, male or female, that triggers a person. You should be old enough to have some type of self-control. I have been in situations to where I have got heated to the point where I literally tune people out. And this person knew, the person whom I was with, she knew to pull me away because she knew what would happen next. Because once I black out, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. I'm getting arrested. I'm going to jail. Have my bail money ready. But I just do not. I don't care what happens. You have no right to put your hands on someone. Granted, we all have multiple personalities. Yes, we all have multiple personalities. Don't deny it, because we do. There's no reason for it. He cannot justify the fact of why he beats her up. There is no justification for that, none whatsoever.
Ida, what you got to say about this, baby?
That's a trigger for me. Because I've lost a few people to domestic violence. I lost a cousin that boyfriend said he loved her. She went back, and the second time she went back, she didn't make it out. And it's sad that that you have people that do this, and like you say, men that feel like, oh, I can beat a woman. But see, that's the thing. The one thing that we've always seen is you've seen so many men say, tell the nigga you're gonna put him in jail or you're gonna call the cops, see how they react. That's how you can see if they a real man or if they really gonna be gangster with it. Because they be like, oh, you gonna call the police? Oh, let me back the fuck up, let me get out. But if you don't, if you say you're gonna call the police and they be like, I'm gonna call them for you, yeah, you might want to run your damn self. But that's a whole different ball game. But dealing with a domestic violence on hand, it's the worst. Because you have so many women that are scared that they tell them, and they use their kids against them, especially when it's kids involved. And they tell them, they threaten them with their kids. Either they're going to kill the kids or they're never going to see their kids again. And especially with a woman, if you ever tell a woman, a real mother, that you going to mess with her kids, she's going to do either two things. She's going to do what she got to do to protect them at all costs, or you going to die. She's going to stay and deal with it, or she going to come out of that shell and kill you. And she will lay down her life for her kids. Because my mom has always said, I will lay down my life for my children. And people got to understand, that women, some men too, some men will do it too. I'm not gonna say it's all women, but some men will lay down their life for their kids just and put up with shit just so they can see their kids. We deal with it on a regular, everyday basis. And domestic violence now is more prevalent on men than it used to be on women. It used to be the men on a woman, but now you see women whooping men's ass more than you do a man's whooping a woman.
That's crazy too. I see we got Nas up in here. Nas, I see you keep jumping in here, so you're gonna have to join this conversation, brother. I'm
not sure what I heard, bitch ass. I don't know. Was it something that happened online that I missed? I've been on a social media diet and a real diet, but I believe I can keep up with the conversation.
All right, I'm gonna let. This is what I'm gonna do, Danny. You let him know what the video clip was about, and then I want to hear your response.
So the video clip that we watched was a video. A woman set up a camera to, in essence, catch her abuser in the act, and he proceeded to act the ass that he was because she didn't pick up some cans. He felt that was enough of a reason for him to go off on her and then to proceed to beat her ass because she dared think that what you're doing to me is not right.
Stop. Let me add this to the thing. The thing that got me with the situation was when she said I was taking my medicine.
Yeah.
So
it didn't
she
matter.
had a issue and she was taking her medicine. He's like, I don't give a fuck, bitch. You ain't cleaned this house up, and went in on that. He literally put hands on her, pulled her over to the floor, and she was a little bitty thing, and he was a nigga. He looked like a nigga from the streets.
He was a fat motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come on, talk to me. What do you think about this situation, Nas?
I've had a cousin that was killed. She was actually in the process of getting a divorce, and up the computer and seen the divorce papers being filed, and he decided to beat her in the head with a baby. Lost her life. So as it relates to that, chastness, it's a lot of that going on, but it's also another aspect of it to it, just like to where women do it the same. Because I'm a victim of it. My kid's mother was, and I was raised not to put my hands on. Enough is enough for everybody, and that's how you end up with the Ashley Bobby. What was up, dude? You end up with one of them kind of situations. So, I mean, the marquee rule is you don't hit, and a lot of that also, I believe, has to do with the fact that women choices as far as relationships to be in. If the guy is, as you say, he was a nigga, surprising? No, because niggas do nigga shit. And this is her history that she dated. So, and just keeping it a buck, it's like girl just brought up a lot of women situations. This ain't their first rodeo. Some of them actually, believe it or not, I don't understand it. I've been beat up before. It wasn't nothing pleasurable about it. I didn't. But if it was on camera, it wasn't the first time. What the fuck was you still doing? I'm not saying that it's her fault. If I see a train coming, I'm on the track, I tend to get the fuck out the way and not stand there.
Now, so I want to say this. I do want to say this to what Ida said in regards to men and women. I am definitely a firm believer that if you put your hands on anybody, I don't give a fuck what your gender is. If you put your hands on anybody, they have the right to defend themselves and beat your motherfucking ass.
These hands bisexual.
Thank you. Thank you. My brother taught me a long ass time ago. If you gonna put your hands on anybody, including a man, expect them to do the same to you.
Yeah.
And don't be sitting there mad because they did that shit. You shouldn't have put your hands on them in the first place. That is universal. There is no gender. There is no sex to it. There's nothing. That is a general law.
Yeah.
Well, y'all know I play it even on the show. Y'all know I play this shit even. I cannot play a fucked up nigga without playing a fucked up ass bitch. And this is funny because the nigga she talked about was fucked up, but it's just fucked up. Listen to what happened, y'all. This I swear to God, this gonna fuck y'all up.
Question for you. You ever had a boyfriend before?
Yeah.
Look, you tell me the craziest secret. A secret you never told your boyfriend. And if I find it crazy, I'll give you $1, $2, $3, $400 in cash right now. You get one chance. In or you out?
I'm in.
All right, so what's the secret?
Okay, so basically I caught my boyfriend cheating on me.
Come on, cheating on you?
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
Devastated.
Okay, but keep going.
So then I knew about all the secrets that he had done, like murders.
Wait, huh?
Yeah. Murders. And I wanted payback for him cheating.
Okay.
So then I called the cops, tipped him off, and so one day they pulled him over while we were in the car together. I tipped him off about him having a gun, and from there he was arrested.
And what happened? They found the gun yet?
Yeah, they connected it to multiple murders.
And what happened to him now?
He's in jail.
For life?
He doesn't know that I called him though.
Why'd you call the police?
He cheated on me.
Did you ever confront him?
No.
Now I'm gonna say this to start this off. I want to know if anybody caught this one little thing I'm about to say. This bitch is so stupid that you got away with getting a nigga locked up, but for $400, you're gonna go on fucking stream and let everybody know.
Now they know where to
niggas
find
in
you.
the penitentiary got phones now, and they passed them motherfuckers and shit like the internet. They love that type of shit. They love to watch that type of shit, and they love to try to pull them a bitch to send them some money. That's what they be in jail on them phones to do, and making other moves within the jail. So how dumb can your dumb ass be to
Very.
fuck around and say some shit like that and get, man, come the fuck on. Like, I'm trying to understand this shit in totality. I see somebody named Why Not Altair on here. I'm praying that you're somebody real. And you know that person?
I vouch for that person.
All right, so send me a list of everybody that might call in, because I'll be looking at this shit and be like, wait a minute now. I ain't going to bring nobody in here that's going to fuck around with their
I was
dick out
trying
on
to figure out
screen
what the
and
heck that was. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the message and shit. I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that? Who was that? All right, why not? I'm going to bring your ass into this conversation. Please, Lord Jesus, let the Lord be with you. Don't let me pour no oil on your ass. Why not? You there? They hung up. They heard me talking about Jesus and they hung up. They came back. Why not? Are you there? That's your last chance. Why not? I ain't going to be playing with your ass all goddamn night. Give him one more.
I think it's a connection issue.
That's what's
Okay.
going on with me. Is kicking me in and kicking me back out.
All right, check this out. If y'all got Wi-Fi in the crib, connect to y'all Wi-Fi. It will make it run a little bit better. I will let you. I know that. You know, I've been doing this long enough. Wait, I'm just listening, babies, too. She said she just listening. Yeah, she just listening. All right, well, who would like to speak about that conversation before we jump on to the next one? Because that just blew the fuck out me. That she came on fucking just a nigga. This is the crazy part. A random nigga. You done held this secret for as long as you done held this shit. A random nigga walks up to you and says, I got $400. And then be like, what is it? And you just like, fuck it. What can I think of?
I might let him go for $1 million, but not $4.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the part that got me. Listen. If I'm the only one that this gets, let me know. Because I might be a little nigga that's, I might be a little off. But she sent the nigga to jail because he killed 3 motherfuckers. Bitch, I'm sorry if you end up in a fucking...
No, that is not why she did that. That is not why she did that. She said why she did that.
I understand it, but you ain't thinking about the fact that he didn't kill motherfuckers. So
right.
And then when he recognizes that he's in jail because of you,
And
this got to listen. While he in jail, he got to be thinking only one thing: when I get out, I'm gonna kill this bitch.
And it's not that he killed people.
Nobody knew.
Thank you. She literally did this shit because he cheated. Which, to me, I'm sorry, the term cheating is
women scorn will do some crazy shit. I'm sorry. You don't think logically sometimes.
Bullshit is still bullshit.
And hurt. We don't.
Bullshit is still bullshit.
Hurt people hurt people.
I understand that, but bullshit is still bullshit.
It is.
If I walk up to you, right, listen, Ida, real shit. If you call me one day and I'm in a bad mood, right, and I don't feel like talking, I'm like, bitch, I don't feel like talking to you right now. I still, even if you forgive me, you cannot erase the fucking fact that I didn't went there with you. And if you decide to cut the relationship off with me, and I really be sorry, I can't really be like, well, shit, I apologize. I gotta look at what the fuck I did. I think that's where we at in this society. People do shit and they don't think about the fucking things that they do. And then when it changes the situation for them, then they looking at the shit like it's your fault that the situation. No, the situation changed because of you. You brought this shit to me.
Because somewhere in there, they were not told to be accountable for their own actions and what they do.
Man, Nada, what you got to say about that?
Well, y'all know I got a story.
You got a story for every goddamn thing.
And I think I've shared this before.
Okay.
I mean, the dude I was with, he know who he is. But he cheated with multiple women, so I slept with his dad.
Yeah, every time you tell that story, I just want to choke the fuck out you and pray for you at the same goddamn time. I want to pour oil down your throat and fix you a drink at the same goddamn time. We need to have a talk with Jesus, and we need to talk to the devil and ask him why the fuck is he so busy in your life at that point. You know what I mean? Like some got to shake in that motherfucker. But I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But every time you tell that goddamn story, look stuff. Oh my God. We got to start having a conversation about accountability. And when I say accountability, I ain't talking about the accountability of what the other person did, but the accountability of what we do in retrospect to what we think that we're getting even on. Because listen what I'm saying. A lot of times in life, we can feel like, oh, I'm about to get this motherfucker. I'm about to do this. But we end up hurting ourselves even more. We carry that shit. We can create a situation that, it's a bad situation, but we can make shit go from bad to worse. Especially when we talking about dealing with a crazy motherfucker. When you dealing with a crazy motherfucker, the rules ain't the same rules that you have when you just having a regular argument with somebody that's sane. Somebody that does not view shit the way that you view shit, you sit there and ask yourself all the fucking time, like, what the fuck is going on with this motherfucker? And even when you talk to them, they don't get it. Because that's an altered mind. I understand this motherfucker hurt me, this motherfucker did this to me. But I just personally feel that we got to have a little bit more self-control about ourselves and what we can do, because we don't think about how it can damage us even more. Sometimes we allow a person that has damaged us already, and then we allow ourselves to be more damaging to ourselves. We ain't damaging that person no more. They already fucked up. But in the process of them fucking you up, you end up fucking yourself up some more. That's another conversation. Come on, talk to me, big man. Come on, Nas, what you feel about that? And then we about to really get into this conversation tonight.
Come on, now.
I done dealt with
let the Lord use
crazy. I done dealt with some crazy, psychotic motherfuckers in my day. I mean, control. And I venture to say, if any of them had been like in casual conversation, like we had started or something, they like, hey, this one, I killed somebody. That's probably gonna be the end of it. So where the fuck was she at? And two, I feel you on you literally just snitched, which is why I hate this whole age that we in now, this whole digital thing. People get on TV robbing people, throwing cats against walls and shit. Like, I don't know where the fuck they go, any of that. I'm lost. I'm from that generation where you don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
Right.
I don't really know where they're going with that. With that being said, her snitching on herself, I think about it like pragmatic in my thinking. Everybody likes a discount. So perhaps, just throwing this out here, Maybe she wanted a $400 discount on the casket. That's the only thing that fucking makes sense
You stupid.
to me.
I can't with you. I can't.
My nigga.
And it's certain things, like they say, it's certain things that you need to take to your grave with you. Sometimes what you know, you need to keep it to your damn self. Everything ain't always
Exactly.
Say it for the cheap seat.
This shit I did in the 8th grade, that shit is going in the urn with me.
Yo,
Nobody will ever,
I'm dying with it.
that whole lunch milk situation we had. No.
You can't know yourself now. It's like, really? Lunch milk?
Listen, Eda, I want you to read the comments right quick, and then we're gonna get ready to jump to our conversation. We're gonna get to some
lunch milk.
I'm glad I'm gonna say this before. I'm glad I got Nas on the show tonight because this is going to be a conversation that gets a little deep tonight, I want to have a male and a female perspective of this conversation. It's usually me with a bunch of women online, and I'm.
First, you a male?
Shut the fuck up. So you starting shit already, you little big neck motherfucker. I'm gonna choke shit out you. So every time we have these conversations, I deal with shit like that because once we start getting to some real shit, it's me against a bunch of women. So I'm glad that we got you tonight, bro, because I want to hear your opinion, regardless of whether you agree with me or not. You feel me? That's where I'm at. Because on the show, they have a tendency to talk about men and women. I have a tendency to talk about people. There are fucked up niggas and there are fucked up women. And they in the
people
conversation.
Are men and women.
Shut the fuck up.
It's fucked up people.
Say that one more. D, say it for the people in the back, because I don't think they heard
Shut
it.
up, nigga. Ain't nobody agreeing with you, niggas. Go ahead and read the goddamn comments so we can go ahead and get to this conversation.
They says if there are younger children in the home, CPS must be called. This is bullshit. Solomon says what I missed and point that bitch out. Russ said a punk that put his hands on his woman. Shantae said this is the reason. This is the reason why we got the show Snap and the Burning Bed, and enough fat motherfuckers got to go to sleep at some point. Yes. Shantae said, and we got to stop saying that it's not our business. You can always report crimes anonymously. Where is the village? So this is the bar. I can date and sleep with a murderer as long as you don't cheat. What the fuck? Okay.
The fuck?
Police says, yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. You can date, you can sleep with a murderer as long as you don't cheat. Yeah, we not going there. Lee says, moral of the story, don't cheat on the person you pillow talk with. Hello. Tay says, you know what they say, dead men tell no tales. Renita said, wait, she couldn't have trusted a killer would be faithful anyways. She should have stopped there. Tay said that part. To whoever Renita said.
I think why not I think why not want to come in here. I see him on the screen now. I think I see a nigga moving around now. What's up, why not?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? How we doing?
That's what's going. Welcome to the show. All right, well, we're about to get into this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We're about to get into this conversation, and we're about to discuss when is it time to recognize a good and bad relationship and recognizing the differences between the male species and the female species. Now, this first clip I'm gonna play, I'm gonna let y'all know it's a little lengthy. And it's from T. Jakes, and this is the funny thing. They don't go into like a deep church discussion. They have a discussion about men and women because he's talking to his daughter. Okay, now check this out. Let's go.
No matter how poorly a person provides, emotionally or financially, in your life, the first victory for a man is that he didn't quit. Because most of the people suffering in this room are suffering from a life you knew nothing about. Some of them don't know who their father is. Some of them were abused by their fathers. Some of their fathers ran away, and the child thinks that the father ran from them. But in all likelihood, the father either ran from your mother. No, that's true. He ran from the relationship that was going on with her at the time, or he ran from the pressure of being this iconic individual that was intimidating for this 20-year-old or this 25-year-old individual who is unfinished himself, who is flawed and broken, and the whole family unit is predicated on the fact it has to be a place of unconditional love. It has to be, because God isn't through raising anybody in the house. Anybody in the house. And it's very important that you understand that, because if you don't give that elasticity to a man, he will leave. He will leave for the lack of being understood and being received, because he wants everything you want. Everything you just said that you want, that's everything I want. I want to be seen. I want to be valued. I want to be affirmed. I want to be appreciated. And I want it to happen after work. And so in between all of that, that's everything your mother wants. So everybody wants. So you come home to hunger, tired. So when you come home to hunger, tired, and face criticism, which I didn't, but some men do, it makes you want to flee either back to work or away altogether. To the grieving women in this room who feel like my father didn't love me, he wasn't there for me, very seldom do men leave their children. They leave their situation, or they leave their spouse, and they don't know how to build a relationship with the child apart from the mother, or the mother won't let them.
So you mentioned elasticity. And
we got somebody hollering something out there.
And we're like, how do you balance not wanting to be like overcritical and nagging or judgmental, but also having legitimate, things that you want to be able to discuss, whether it's in the father relationship or even a relationship with a husband?
With men, timing is everything. Timing is everything. It is not what you say, it's when you say it. Not when I first come in the door. Don't meet me at the door with a bunch of complaints. I'm trying to find some refuge. I'm trying to find some peace. And most men need a cave, a detox spot to refuel from all the things that happened to you at work, where you were often belittled, mistreated, hated on, ostracized, and to survive that and come home and run it. The persons you're doing it for have a list of what you didn't do. It makes you feel unappreciated. And here's where the problem comes in. There's always somebody around the corner talking to you saying, if you was my man, and I was your woman. And it's really not true. But it is the trap we fall in, because we have a tendency to go to where the claps are, not the criticisms. If you do have something critical to say, pick a time that your emotions are not involved in it. Because you have to understand, men don't, whether in the workplace or at home or in life, we don't communicate like women. We communicate very differently. That's true. And so understanding what you mean is a process. Your mother will tell you my famous line with your mother, my famous all-time 37-year-old. There has never been a year in the 37 years we've been married that I didn't say this at least 100 times during the year. What do you mean by that? Because what she said and what I heard are often two completely different things. And the same thing is true in reverse. What I said versus what you hear is two different things. I might say, I don't like your dress, and you might hear, I don't like you. We can compartmentalize one issue from the other and speak about the issue and then wonder why the individual is mad. Because for us, it's about the issue. It's not about the individual. But the woman often feels affronted, A. B, most women grew up without a man, so she wants me to be her girlfriend in pants. She talks to me like she was a girl, and she receives from me like woman communication. Male communication is very different.
Yeah, because like when PT talks to me, I can't hardly take it sometimes. It's like way direct and like, well, what were you thinking when you did that? And then I become defensive and now I have an attitude. And even though I grew up in the house with a man, I think there's something about him saying something that suggests I didn't do it well enough that maybe brings up this little girl who wanted to please her dad. And so now it's not just him saying I didn't do this one thing well. I hear all of these things that I didn't do well throughout our relationship.
First mistake is you married your father.
I didn't know that until about 6 months into it, and that's when I realized that they're the same people. I was like, really?
I tell you, it's amazing how much we think alike. Being direct for us isn't always an attack. Let me show you the opposite of it. When a woman comes home to talk to her husband, she says, he wants to know what's for dinner. Well, I left work. I knew we didn't have any green beans. I had to go by the store and get some green beans. The traffic was absolutely everywhere. Do you not know that I had to go to Kroger's where they got green beans, 5 cans for $1, and wait in line? I ran into Helen while I was there, and you know I don't like Helen. And he's sitting there just, you want to take your lip and pull it completely over top of your head? Because all I want to know is, so psychology teaches that women circle around the issue. You circle around the issue. We come down like a helicopter right on the issue.
A machete. I like to call it a machete.
A machete. We're your protectors. But this is it. A direct statement from me doesn't necessarily mean I'm angry at all. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm angry at all. And so when you get angry and defensive, I feel misunderstood. I got a big amen. I heard it come from the front. I feel misunderstood. The 3 men that are in this room are praying hard for me. Okay. So what you have to understand is that I feel misunderstood by just being straightforward with you. And let me say this as it relates to marriage. You can get married in 30, you can have a wedding in 30 minutes, but it takes 30 years to have a marriage. By the time you learn how to read each other, you have raised your children. You have buried your parents. You have been in every conceivable situation together, and you have drawn conclusions. And the reason that this is so difficult, it starts generationally and passes down. You already have the advantage of having some sense how to read a man. You know how you and I can talk across the room and never say a word? Okay, I can talk to this girl and never part my lips. We would look at each other and burst out and start laughing and had said a word to each other. That innate instinct is very helpful in reading your husband, even though sometimes you read that he's displeased with you because he criticized something that you did. But it's funny that you would say that about him, because with me, though I am direct, and we've had our moments, look at the way she's looking at me. One of my greatest father-daughter moments with you was after you were started to write, and you wrote me something and sent it to me, and I was in LA at the time, and I was busy, and I was very direct, and I'm embarrassed how direct I was. I tell you, it wasn't good, and I didn't know what you meant. You needed to write it over. I did. When you later wrote the book, I called you. I called you from my desk, and I left a message on your voicemail. And I said I was going to read the book because I've always been their guinea pigs. Anything they cooked, I ate. Anything they wrote, I read. So I said, I'm going to read this book because you're my child. But when I started reading it, it was so well written and so well done, I couldn't put it down.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this discussion. What do you feel about what the discussion was actually about? Ida, let's start with you.
Well, I mean, I wholeheartedly understand, but like you say, kind of like Tay had put it up here. We're not in the old times, but I agree with both sayings. You do have to understand. Sometimes men don't want to hear the whole logic of getting around to what we having for dinner. Just tell me what the heck we having for dinner, and let's move it on. I deal with that on a regular basis with all my brothers. But it's the whole thing of just want to be appreciated too. You have women that want men to show their appreciation, but fail into showing their men their appreciation and that they are valued in their relationship. So it's a two-way street. You got to give and get a little. When you want to get, you got to give. And if you want to give, you got to get. So that's the same thing as like it's a two-way where you pulling back and forth. It's like a pulley system. It's not all one way where you just get, because you lose out on a whole lot of stuff there. Like I say, men want to be appreciated just like women do.
Let me bring in Why Not. What do you think about the conversation? Why not? I think are you muted? There you go. I heard something for a second, then it went out. We're going to give Why Not a chance to come back in just a second. If you come back in, just say something so I can know that you got your sound working. Danny, what do you think about that?
You muted.
I agree with everything that was said. I did it again, huh? I agree with everything that was said. Everything that was said was true. You have to give each other the space that you need. And you also have to be able to see and communicate with each other. I understand that there's a point in time where you just want to get to what's the damn point. I understand. For me, I'm not gonna say all women because I understand I am not like most women. I have always made sure that he feels loved, supported, heard, and is the head. I'm beside you, but I'm taking your lead. You have to do that because that's something that men need.
Right.
Men need to know that I got you, and you see me that way, and I can tell that you see me that way. Women, we just want security. We want to know that you got it. And because I know that you got it, I'm gonna make sure that you have everything that you need. And in you doing that, what you do, you're making sure that my needs are met. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle. If I do what I'm supposed to do, you do what you're supposed to do.
Everything is good. Mm-hmm.
But if y'all are two people who can't get that for each other, you might want to start thinking in a different direction. I'm just saying.
Judy, I got you online. I hear you now. You took your camera off, but we still got you in the feed.
I did. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you can cut your camera back on. Just cut your camera back on.
Oh God, hold on, wait.
And
so I totally agree. I'm kind of with Danny on that. I agree with everything. That there's always a balance. Like what I tell Nas is like, I don't know what kind of past relationships you had, but I grew up in a household where my parents were married for 30 years before my dad died. My my brothers have been married for 25 years, my uncles and aunts 44, 55 years, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And understand what that relationship is. And one thing that I have always observed is that there's always a balance. If my mother always did for my father always did for my mother. And so it was a balance of knowing who you are with, studying who you are with, knowing, the good, the bad, and the ugly of them, what you can't deal with, what you want, what you can and can't tolerate. And on the same spectrum, right? Like there's things I'm sure that he probably finds totally annoying with me. And he's actually been the only person who's been able to have me kind of like rein in and fall back and be like, all right, I'm gonna listen to what you're saying because you're making wise decisions. You're not out here being reckless. I can trust your lead, so I don't have to do everything. In my past relationship, I had to do everything. So it's like almost a relief where we can actually have a whole conversation about the good things, the bad things that people are supposed to talk about that they don't want to talk about because they're not comfortable, and we kind of get that out in the open. And I think because I'm an individual who is kind of a straight shooter, where I always say what's on my mind, no matter what. A lot of times I get chastised by my friends about it, but at the end of the day, they also say, you were hard on me and your delivery was kind of messed up. But at the end of the day, I received everything you said because you didn't say it out of malice. You said it because you love me and you care about me and you're being honest. And so I think if you can be honest with your mate about everything, because I feel like if you're with somebody, that's the person that you're supposed to be able to be the most vulnerable with. You know, I should be able to tell you everything that's on my mind without you judging me and even if we don't totally agree, we can come to some kind of consensus or compromise because you feel a certain way because you're an individual. I feel a certain way because I'm an individual, and I respect your space. You respect my space. I understand that even though we're together, you're still a whole human being out here. So you still have things that you want to do on your own and you got your little time. And I'm not going to be that person to be like, oh, well, you can't do that because now you're with me and we're together. It's like we're individuals. So I totally get what they're saying. You can still, men and women will always communicate differently because we just think differently. And that's just always the way it's going to be. But I think a lot of times women don't understand because they're so busy focusing on what they want and what they need. They don't understand that men have needs and wants too, which could be simple, it could be complex. But again, if you are with somebody and you're really trying to be with them, you take the time to learn all of those intricacies. You take the time to know, okay, this little simple thing to me is a big pet peeve to him, or I know he likes this a certain way, and I'm not necessarily keen on it, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to cater to him because at the end of the day, he's a good person and he does the same for me. He does the little things that I don't think about, and I'm going to take the time to do the same thing, the little things that no one has really thought about doing for him because I see, okay, well, you need this and you don't have this kind of support in your corner, and you may not say you need it, but I'm being observant in everything you do and how you move and how you operate, and know that I can be of assistance in this place. Then we can kind of be a team where you fall is where I'm supposed to pick up, and vice versa.
Is Nas still with you?
He went to the store. I don't know if
Okay.
he's still on the phone though.
No, he's not on the line right now. So I just want to
Oh,
know
okay.
was he there with you? Well, why not, Corey? Can you access your audio yet? Okay, still waiting on why not Corey to try to get his audio. Nada, talk to us.
I agree with, was it Danny? So I I have never looked for a man like my father. I look for well, I'll put it like this. I've never wanted a man just like my father. I look for certain characteristics of my father. To me, that's kind of gross, but whatever. I believe if anybody knows about well, I'm not gonna put it that way. Supply and demand. You know, relationships should be supply and demand, and that goes for both parties. And I wholeheartedly agree with what Tay said as well. I don't know if you guys read her comment, but I have found that when okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But it is relationships are just supply and demand on both ends. That's just the way it should be. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, so we're gonna get ready to jump into our next clip. I want y'all to check this out. This was a clip taken from Steve Harvey. Check it out.
How many of you in here are in a relationship of some kind? Okay, we're gonna talk about relationships. Relationships is cool. Everybody don't mind being in a relationship unless you just got out of one and you're just glad as hell you by yourself. But let's say you've been dating a person for a little while. Have you ever noticed that sometimes they just get comfortable? They just start to get a little bit too comfortable. And you started noticing stuff that you didn't notice before. That's when you got to really find out, is this the relationship I'm gonna stay in or not? Like, I'm gonna go back and forth, because sometimes it's the men that get comfortable, sometimes it's the ladies that get comfortable. Ladies, have you ever been dating a man, and then somewhere in the relationship you realize that he spends less time taking a shower than kids do? You ever seen that right there? Here's another one, lady. You ever been dating a man and then you realize for the first time that he defends his mama way too much? You can't say nothing about his mama. Here's one for the fellas. Now, ladies, don't get tight on me. I told you we was gonna go back and forth. Now, I done 2 on the men, I gotta do 1 on you. Fellas, you ever been dating a woman that she got so comfortable, she started coming to bed like she's expecting bad weather? She got on a coat, a beanie, some thick slocks, sweatpants, gloves. Ladies, here's one with the fellas. You ever been sitting up, you've been dating a man for a little while and your mama come over? He walk in the kitchen, ain't got on nothing but his drawers, rubbing his stomach, talking about, hey, Miss Helen. This ain't no Miss Helen, this my mama. Fellas, you ever been in a full-blown argument with your woman? I'm talking about y'all arguing. And right in the middle of the argument, she started taking her tracks out of her hand. I'm just sitting up in here, looking at you. All of a sudden, eyelashes come off. And you don't know who you messing with. Right here. Start taking makeup off. Setting it on the table. Just falling apart right in front of you. You sit up here going, she wiping makeup off, ain't got no eyelashes on, hair gone. Did you in here arguing with a whole nother person? Then she look at you and say, you don't know who you talking to. Well, hell, I guess not.
Okay, check it out. Now, this is what I wanted to hit on. The conversation of you're talking to somebody and the relationship is going good, right? But at some point, you begin to recognize things in that person that you didn't intend to run into. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about those, how those little nuances can change and affect the relationship. Let's start with you, Eda.
You can date, like you say, we used to always say, sometimes you're not dating the person, you're dating their representative to start off with. That's who you meet, is their representative. You're not meeting the true person until you really don't really get to know a person truly until you live with them. That's what we have always learned. You really don't see a true person in their true colors. You can see them and go to their house, but until you live with them for at least 6 months, you don't really get to know who that person really is until you are under the same roof and everything. Because speaking from my experience, dating was a different thing. But when I got married, I dated them for a year or more. Once we got married, it was like the gloves came off. I was like, what? Like, what happened? Like, you started off, the first year was cool, second year was cool, but then it was like you started showing, it's like an onion, you peeling it back. It's got layers. And it's like, you didn't do this and you didn't act like that. But once you get into a relationship with a person, you're seeing them for who they really are and their true colors. Because when you live with them, that's what you really see. See, there's no more, I'm covering it up because you're there and I'm here. We're in the same household. So you seeing them for who they really are. And that's why you really don't know a person until you really live with them. And live with them for at least 6 months to a year, you really get to find out who they really are.
Let's go to Judy.
Mute. I'm on mute. Okay, there we go. I can agree with that. But honestly, that's the part of the relationship I look forward to. It's like once all the airs have come down and like you are who you are. Because I know, especially in the initial phase, it's all puppy love and all of that stuff.
Right.
But I look forward to seeing the person that you are, so I know what I can and can't tolerate. Like, so that's kind of, I look forward to that part. I look forward to the part where all of it has come down. We've known each other well enough where you feel like you can be completely who you are, so I can see what I'm
Right.
dealing with.
But except for when they become a whole Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, it's like, I'd rather you be ignorant in the beginning and sweet at the back end.
But see, here's the thing about that. It's like, I feel like people blind themselves on purpose because they're so caught in a moment of bliss and it's love and all of that. Like, I'm peeping all of that from the beginning. Everything you say, I'm noting. Every move you make, I'm noting from the beginning. Like, because a lot of times, and it is very true, people show you who they are from the beginning. It's just a lot of times that people try to negate that or try to put it to the side because they're getting their needs met versus seeing exactly what's in front of them.
Or they
So
feel that
I
they can
look
fix
at
that person.
right, that too. You know what I mean? And it's like I listen to everything you say, everything you do, everything you say about how you interact with other people in your family, your mother, your father, your cousins, your uncles. Like, I'm listening to everything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to listen. And that will tell me a lot about how some of our future interactions will be. And it'll give me the point where it'll be like, oh, okay, well, he said this at this point and I'm already uneasy. So I already know that if he could say this and not really think about it and I can hear it and see it as a red flag, it's going to be an issue then. So let's address it now.
Let's go, Nada, and then Danny. Let's go. Oh, is that my man back in the building?
Yes,
What's going
he's
on,
back.
Doc?
I check bathrooms. That's how I get down.
Yes, he told me that when he first came over here, he checked my bathroom. And I was like, what is that about? I don't know what that means, but I guess that's a thing.
So do me a favor, turn your phone sideways so we can get a full picture of you, and especially when he comes in, so y'all won't be so smushed up on the
Come
side.
back.
You know, there you go. Nate, let's go, Nada, and then Danny. Let's go.
So again, Tay, man, I wish you was on here, girl. You definitely need to see both sides in all their seasons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. you know, when I have been in a relationship, you know, it's always, you know, I'm gonna show up cute. That's just what it's gonna be. I'm gonna be cute. I'm gonna be real cute. But after a period of time, you know, I may take a, you know, one of my pieces out, one of my clips out, or you know, I've done the eyelashes, I've taken, you know, items of clothing off, you know, put my glasses on. I mean, I've done it all. It's all cute. But on a serious tip, it's all fun and games until communication gets involved. It's all fun and games until, you know, you really start to learn who that person really is. You know, we can be so in love with a person that we totally omit the fact that, you know, they can be condescending, or, you know, they lack, you know, trust because of previous issues. You begin to see different parts of that person. And like I said before, you know, the puppy love and the beginning stages of a relationship is all cool. We all been there, done that. But you if you want to be with that person, you definitely have to be willing to, you know, stick it out, you know, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I would definitely, you know, say that you definitely have to see a person through all seasons. You know, winter here in Chicago can be brutal, you know, and the spring and fall are definitely my favorite. um Summertime, you know, you just kind of be free, let yourself go. Fall, you just kind of lay back, chill. You really, you know, you both are, you know, being stuck in the house, and you know, you just begin to see their flaws. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. So I mean, it's definitely important that you see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Come on, talk to me, Danny.
Okay, so it's been a long time since I've been in the puppy love stage of anything. Considering I've been with the same person for 25 years. But I don't know. I think sometimes I'm different. I went in letting you know this is me. This is who I am. I'm not trying to put no false bravado on it. I don't like to do this. I don't like to do that. I don't like to do this. So if that's what you want, I'm not her. We can end that part of this now. We can be friends still. But that part, if it's a relationship you're looking for and that's what you're wanting in that relationship, I am not her. I also did not come in with an expectation, if that makes sense. People are who they are. You don't know a person until, and I know you said 6 months to a year. I was still learning shit about my husband in year 12. And mind you, we were together 3 years before that, before we actually got married. I'm still learning shit now, and we're in year 21 of marriage. So I don't think you will ever truly know anyone. I think what it's really about is you knowing yourself, what you are looking for, what your heart knows are. It's just certain shit I can't do a clingy person. So if he was a clingy man, we would not be together to this day. I don't check for him like most women probably would. I don't need to check your messages. I don't need for you to tell me every step that you make. I don't need for you to be like, oh, no, I don't need you to do none of that because I'm not doing that for you. You are a human being. You are an individual. Yep. And people's past are a big part of who they are. Yeah. And because you don't know what they've been through, what they've seen, what they've lived, their family dynamic or anything, you're not going to really know the person. And because we're taught in our society that I'm supposed to, in essence, get you before you get me. We turn off any kind of vulnerability that we will ever be able to give. We don't communicate. I'm not going to let you see this in me because I think you're going to use it against me. But at the same time, you want them to love you no matter what and unconditionally. But if you don't tell them who you are or let them know who you are, or you actually see who they are and listen to who they are, how can you do that? And in order to do that, you have to love you and know that I got me, I'm safe with me. You're safe with me too, because I know that I'm safe with you.
See, you know what I'm thinking about while you're speaking? I think that a lot of people are in relationships, they get into relationships, and they don't know if the person they're even interested in knows themselves.
That part.
Yep.
Then on the vice versa side, you don't know yourself. And then what can be even more complicated is you know somebody that does know themselves, but you're not being 100% with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you're presenting a facade into them. And then once they see something different, now they're looking at you differently. Because that's, you know, you go to the car dealership, right? And you get a car. You start that boy up, and you're like, all right, I want this car. And you pull off that motherfucker, right? Only at a used car dealership. Let's think of used car dealership. You pull off that lot, and you're riding for 2 days, but then the third day, that motherfucker just breaks the fuck down on you. You are sitting there in a situation that you did not expect to go into. You paid your money for a good car. You were happy when you bought the car, but you had no idea that it was a lemon. You had no idea that it had other baggage to it. And then, I just feel like this. You cannot just dump all of your baggage onto someone because you like them. You got to dump your baggage on yourself and have a conversation with yourself. And then once you had a conversation with yourself, then you can go ahead and move about things. But if you still got to hang up with yourself, you can't, it's sad to say this, but you don't need to be in a relationship because you have not figured out you.
Facts.
And how can you expect somebody to be with you and figure you out and you haven't figured out yourself? Because the worst thing is to have a motherfucker that has figured you out and now they having this conflict with really having a conversation with you about what they see about you. See, this goes back to that TD Jakes conversation about, the conversation about a lot of men, we just speak directly. And a lot of women, and this isn't a shot at women, but women sometimes speak in circles. And in a conversation, that can just be irritating to a man. Something that should be so simple and simplistic to the relationship becomes a dynamic of controversy, drama. You dread having you dread sitting that, somebody say something to you like, what are you about to say now? I've been there in a relationship and I'm like, yo, fuck, what, what you want to talk about now? What is it now? And you don't understand why that person is frustrated with you. That person is frustrated with you because you have brought so much unpackaged baggage and just dropped it in their lap. And you think the words, I love you, is supposed to cover the baggage. I love you is a great thing, but I love you don't mean shit if you don't have a concept of loving yourself. A lot of people get into relationships and will drop everything that's going on in their life and get into that relationship and then make that relationship all that they know. I got an issue with it. That's why I don't date women with young children. Why? Because I'm a man and I want to be in a relationship where I'm spending time with my woman. My kids are grown, are pretty much grown. They don't live with me. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to meet somebody that if I get into a relationship, we can move. If I get into a relationship with you and you just, hey, well, I'm going to come over, be with you for about, 6 weeks and not go home. Now, I may not have said nothing to you, but I'm sitting there looking at you like, well, what the fuck is you doing at your crib? How are you handling the rest of your life? Have I become everything? And listen, As much as we play with that and we hear those words like, man, baby, you my everything. Trust me, when somebody becomes your everything, that is a dangerous place to be in. That is dangerous when all you think about is this other person. You can't maneuver through life. Whatever, when they make a move, you sitting there questioning they move. Whoa, baby, wait a minute. I'm just going to the stove. I just want to go with you, baby. I don't want you with me all the goddamn time. You my lover and I love you. And I think that some people have a problem with being in a relationship and feeling like you got to be around that motherfucker all the time. No. Some days I just want to be by myself. Some days I want to hang with my guys. Some days I just want to, go out and do some shit on my own. Everything does not oh my God, that's a serious thing, because I think a lot of people have that frustration in a relationship where they feel like they can't breathe, but they're not talking about it. So then when they snap off about something, and it really, what they snapping off about has nothing to do with the core situation. They have a frustration so deep within inside themselves that it pops off at the craziest time, because they're not talking to you about what they really need to be talking to you about. What do y'all feel about that? I see Judy. I see you pop back in there. Edith, come on, talk to me.
I mean, I'm like what Monique said. I need my time. I mean, I'm one of those ones. I'm an ambivert, because I like to have that where I'm outgoing, but I'm an introvert too, in the same thing where I want to be by myself. Granted, yes, I love going and being out, but it's sometimes I want to be in the house reading a book. I'm a nerd. I'm a bookworm. I'm sorry. But it's sometimes I want to be clingy, and then some days, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't touch me, because I don't look cute. That's just like women go through that. We are complex creatures, but some men don't understand that. They're like, you always moody. Complex. Men are simplistic, but women are a little more complex because we got a little more things that we got to deal with. We have a little more thing called hormones that are raging, where we're dealing with two different things: estrogen and testosterone. Men don't have to deal with them at the same time. We dealing with both of them at the same time. We don't know what the hell to do with them sometimes. And sometimes what you were saying, Russ, when you was like, a man is like, well, I want to just simple like this and this and this. Men and women are two different creatures. Women have that thing where they connect every little thing. Like we say, men are like waffles. They compartmentalize things. They put in one little square and they deal with that. And when I get to this little square, we're going to deal with that. Don't open that square and try to squeeze it over here. Women, we're like spaghetti. Everything entwined. And we take where one conversation goes into another and it connects. But men don't understand that, because we have to multitask. Men don't multitask like women. We have to make sure we take care of the kids, the house, this, that, everything. Men don't have to do that, because that's majority of the time a woman who's a nurturer and builds and collect. When you give a woman food, what's she gonna do? She's gonna make a meal. When you give a woman your seed, what's she gonna do? She's gonna give you a child. When you give her a house, she's gonna make it a home. She's gonna make it to where you are safe. You come in and do what you're gonna do. We have so many hats that we have to wear that men don't. Not all men. Some men don't realize it, and it's like, well, I just don't understand you. I'm sorry. That's just us. We creatures. That's our nature. We gonna nurture. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, and we just complex as hell. So y'all just got to deal with it.
Danny,
I love that book, by the way, Ida. I love that book.
Check it out, Danny.
Men are waffles, women are spaghetti. Yes,
check
and like
this
they
out.
say, men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
I see my guy. Wait a minute, I see my guy Danny over there in the corner. I see him snuck in here for a quick little moment. I would love to hear what he has to say.
Russ,
about
I ain't
this
know, but I would have thought that was your cousin or either your brother.
Well, we live a lot alike. We we both musicians. I'm trying to tell you, it's so serious. I think my uncle might be his daddy. I'm just trying to tell y'all, it might be that way, and we just don't know it yet. Come on.
Well, first off, just to kind of tie in everything you said, to begin with, most people are getting in relationships and they're already unhappy with their own life. So if you're not happy with where you are in your life, there is no way in hell bringing somebody else into your bullshit is gonna make a change.
Right.
Nobody's gonna make you happy. Nobody can make you happy. Happiness is an inside job. Period. If you get up every morning and every morning you jumping out the bed, it's the same shit, different day. Guess what? Your life is same shit every day, because that's what you said it is. If you get up every morning is The sun is shining. I'm out. I love the way traffic is rolling for me. I'm getting to work on time. Damn, I can't help but be fucking satisfied with everything that's going on in my life. Everything you want rolls for you. And the same thing when it comes to the people you love and the people you say you love. If you focus on everything fucked up about them, guess what they're going to keep doing? All the fucked up shit, because that's all you're paying attention to. If you stop yourself and say, every day they show up, every day they're here, every day my house is clean, every day it may not be clean the way I want to, but it's this. If you're noting everything that's good and it puts you in a good space, you'll start to bring out the best in the person, because then you can't help but notice that, because that's what you want in your life. So everything is about focus and about balance and about energy. We've been together 25 years, but it ain't because I sit up here and get on her about stuff that she don't like fucking doing. I know she don't fucking like doing. She told me from jump.
And I think that's the difference, though. That's a major difference. She told you from jump. You knew what size shoe you were putting on when you went to the store.
Exactly.
A lot of people getting shoes that look good, but they put them on and it's not fitting. And they want to make it fit. They'll be like, well, I can put some cushions in it and just walk around it, or my feet can hurt just a little bit. I'll be all right, but these shoes look good on me. No, these shoes aren't for you.
No.
And I think a lot of people have not gotten to the point. Listen, it's okay to understand that somebody is for you or if they are not for you. It's okay for you to have that understanding. The thing is, you have to be honest with the other person that you're in that conversation with. Because a lot of people go along to get along. And then by the time, I was telling this to my son the other day. I told my son this the other day. I said, man, you young. And the one thing I don't want you to do is to think that because you have a woman, that is the end all be all. Because if that woman decides and that relationship does not work and you have not got yourself to a place where you can take care of yourself, you're going to struggle. And then you'll find yourself finding another woman just to find a place to stay. And you know, you'll be living, but you're not living. But if you focus on you and you end up meeting the right person, then things should somewhat come together, as opposed to you meeting somebody because they look good, because they fucked you and they sucked you up right. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is the conversation I'm having with my 23-year-old. Yo, you gotta know the difference between.
And at 23, that's all they need to be doing is fucking and sucking, though.
You got to know the difference between the emotion. No, but you got to know the difference between the emotion of feeling good.
Yeah.
And knowing that you are good with the person that you are with. That's the difference, baby. A lot, and think about it. A lot of times, and me and my buddy was cracking up about this the other day. We said, man, why is it that women that have the best sex give you the most fucking problems? Because guess what? The sex is not the relationship.
Right.
The sex is just a feel-good moment.
Physical. Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? And you have to make a decision within yourself. Is this sex so fucking good that I can put up with a situation that drives me crazy? Is this person doing something that I know, nobody else knows it, but on the inside of me, I can't deal with this. It's better for you to say at that point, listen, we don't have to end this on a bad note. We don't have to be enemies. However, I've come to the realization that we are in two different spaces in time. Are you a beautiful woman? Do you do good? Yeah. But do we operate the same way where it comes together? Or are we just operating two fucking machines at the same fucking building and just catching a check at the end of the day, but we both walking out of this job complaining?
Alignment is a thing.
What you say?
I said alignment is a thing.
Talk to us a little bit for those that may not understand what you're talking about. I feel what you're saying, but I want to expand on that.
So in order for you to have, all right, so let's take it off topic, but still on topic. even if you're dealing with the law of attraction, right? You attract whatever you want to your life. So if you want, if for women, if they want a man who does this, right? And they have a list of things they want, and that's what they want in that man. That's the thing they have to focus on to get that man. Now, if you will get stragglers along the way, so it is up to you to know the fucking difference. You know, and the only way you can know the difference is to be in a what you're truly looking for. If you don't know what you fucking looking for, you don't know what you want, then you can deal with whatever you deal with. And anything that comes in, might that can take you off, will fuck your life up. That's why people have all these fucked up relationships, and everybody blaming everybody when the whole person that follows the person is the person you should be looking at in the mirror. That's you.
And another way of saying it, honestly, and I'm gonna go in the Christian realm. Being evenly yoked is being intimate, for lack of better words. It's not necessarily, I'm not saying that both of you all need to be Christians or both of you all need to be agnostic or both. No, this has nothing to do with religion. This is your lifestyle. This is how you see life and how you maneuver through life. If I'm moving this way and he's moving this way, we're not in alignment.
Right.
If I feel like I should be able to curse you out and tell you who you are and you bow down to me, and you feel like, well, I should be able to do that same thing to you, but you should not be able to do it. We're not evenly yoked. We're not alignment.
And guess what? It doesn't necessarily have to be like I'm beefing with this person. You can. No, sometimes you can just be like, this is not working for me.
Yeah,
and before it goes to another level of disrespect, us not liking each other, saying stuff to each other that could make us just hostile with each other, it's best to say that to yourself and be, like, I'm at that point in my life where, although I respect the opinions of others and I respect the hearts of others, I've got to respect what I'm going through personally first. I've got to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, I'm happy with this, I'm unhappy with that. I like this, I don't like that. And I also have to be able to look at myself at sometimes and say, well, this is out your norm. Are you willing to try it? Because I can't be so stuck to what my bubble is that I'm not willing to try anything else. Because that thing that I may try may be the thing that opens me up to a whole nother level of enjoyment in life. You know what I'm saying? But going into something to change just to make it work, if you are unhappy, you got to fuck around and tell that to yourself. You can't worry about what friends are going to think about it. You can't worry about what your mama and them going to think about it, because there are some people, there are some people in relationships that refuse to get out of a relationship because they are so concerned about what the public is going to think, what their mama going to think about them leaving a relationship. The mama might be a woman that been through some bad shit and thinks that you staying with a motherfucker that's going upside your head is a good thing. But no, you got to make a decision for yourself. You have got to heal nobody can heal you. I believe people can attribute to your healing. They can put attributes to you healing, but no one can heal you. You have to actually heal yourself before you open yourself up to be with somebody that you may damage. I see. What my man Judy, what y'all over there talking about? What y'all think?
So that's very deep. But see, what I learned is that people can't really heal themselves because a lot of people don't realize they need healing. A lot of people can't take accountability for their actions. A lot of people get into relationships because they don't know who they are and they feel that they need someone to love them. So they'll jump from one to another. I got a whole friend right now who is going through a divorce. And she's in a relationship now with someone that she's been with for 6 months. And he's going through a divorce. Both of them are still married. And they're already talking about a relationship and getting married, and they're not even divorced yet.
Oh,
And
so
it's like you didn't even heal from one to go into the other because
Like a
people, yeah, they don't take accountability for, you know, what is going on, what they contributed to that divorce, what they contributed to that relationship. They're too busy in the self gratification of right now. Right now, you make me feel good. Right
It's
now, I make you feel good. You know what I mean? And it's people can't do that. They can't heal themselves if they don't know what they're healing themselves from, because they don't see what they did wrong and took accountability in the actions that contributed to whatever situation they're in, to form a way to say, okay, I did this, now I need to heal from it. They just jump right into the next thing because it's self-gratification for right now. And just like you said, it's like it's a perception. They want everyone to see them in this light. Like I'm thinking about what everyone else thinks of me instead of dealing with what they're really dealing with internally, but they don't want to face that, because then again, that's accountability, and you can't say that you're wrong because you have to play the victim. Because I noticed that a lot also. People have to have a circumstance where they need to play the victim to be visibly to everyone else where they can get that validation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
validation.
really, yeah, validation. Really, that's what it is. It's validation. Because it's all about, look at me, I'm going through this, da, 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 da. But no one's gonna say to you, oh well, did you ever think that maybe you contributed to the situation by doing what? See, I'm that friend to be like, yeah, bitch, that was the dumbest thing that you ever decided to do. So,
I knew I liked you.
What you got to say about that, big dog? And you got anything to say about that right quick before we get to this next clip?
Yeah, like she's healing personally because I'm a retired stripper, right?
Oh God.
I'm not. I'm none of that. Y'all got too deep.
I don't like you no more.
I used to get off stage. No, seriously, people got to heal, man. Before you get into relationships, I definitely agree with that. People have that fear factor. They're scared of being alone. So that's the reason I think for jumping from relationship to relationship. I just heard that from a young cat too. My homeboy's nephew, like 18, 19. He jumped out of a relationship. And it was some physical shit.
I think you got the mic covered up. The microphone covered up on the phone.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, it's kind of weird how all of these conversations tying in. But I had a friend of mine's nephew. He just got out of a relationship, and the reason why he got out of it is because he was out here in the streets starting out, and he found out his girlfriend had a little side piece at the job, so he got mad and slapped her. And that happened because his dad was abusive, and he didn't even understand what the fuck he was going through. Which I told him, don't even get in a relationship to begin with because your ass is too young, and you playing college football. Not a good idea because you're going to be flooded with invites. But he did it anyway, got his little feelings hurt or whatnot. So I've been mentoring him the last couple of days. Just kind of drop that and get an understanding of who the fuck you are before you come dragging somebody else into your madness. Yeah, I mean, other than that, and me retiring from the stage, being a stripper, I think that
this nigga is a fucking fool, man. He's a fool.
I'm not anymore.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Check this out. We got any other final comments on this particular subject before I bounce to this last clip? Okay, check it out.
Let's go.
Matter of fact, read some of these comments right quick, Ida. Let me get some of these comments in.
You know I can't see that. We should put that in.
Hold on, mute yourself over in the corner. Y'all over there about to talk about him stripping and shit. We don't need that shit on the line, nigga. Y'all gotta learn how to mute y'all motherfucking selves. This is a public discussion. It might be kids. And this nigga out here talking about slinging your ass off the counter and shit. We ain't talking about that right now. We trying to fix broken hearts and shit. Let's go. Come on, talk to me, Ida.
Y'all are crazy. Shantae says, y'all remember that scene, I'm gonna get you, sucker. That's funny. With the whole complex of craziness with women. She said that's why you have to see people in all their seasons. She says, I think that's where we mess up with dating. There's an expectation of rushing everything and for what. Dating is not always supposed to be roses and rainbows. She said, yes, Danny, be honest off rip. And she said exactly, Native, what you agree. And Monique said she agrees. Monique said exactly. Shantae said, stop chasing that magical unicorn that you are expecting to fix you. She said, love is an action word. Monique said, man, I need my damn time. She said, like you say, Shantae said, flag on the play. I don't want to be your everything. It's not a fair expectation to have on anybody. Shantae said, preach when Danny's husband was on. She said, put that on a t-shirt. Happiness is an inside job. She said, love and sex are not interchangeable. Monique said she was clapping her hands. Shantae said, and the messed up part is we realize that something isn't working for us, but we will subject ourselves to the situation anyway and get mad, resentful toward the other person. It's insanity. She said, you can't hear what you don't acknowledge. Dr. Phil.
All right, well, we about to listen to the white girl right quick, y'all. Gonna see what this white woman about to say to us right quick. Let's see if all this niggas on this line can agree with this white woman right quick. Let's go.
What does a guy get from a woman that he couldn't get from a cook, a cleaner, and a hooker? It goes back to like why it's better to date girls with lower body counts because they're more loyal.
Yeah, but I don't know about all of that.
So if a girl's a virgin on her wedding night, she has an 80% chance of a happy marriage. If she sleeps with more than 5 people, it drops down to 30%.
But that doesn't mean the man's gonna stay though. How many
women leave most of the time? It's 70 to 80% of the time. If you're college educated, it's 90, and they cheat at similar rates. And there's actually studies that have come out recently saying that women cheat more than men. Because think about it, we have way more opportunity. We walk down the street, say hello to a man, he's down. Saying like as adults in a conversation, like yes, there are going to be exceptions, but if you have an 80% chance, isn't that better than a 30% chance? And if you were a dude, you pick the 80% chance. And second off, the other problem is like, a lot of times what girls will do is they'll give it to the last guys for free and then try to like they're a used Honda Civic and trying to require BMW prices, but you can't go back to being a new BMW.
No, I do.
God damn. What she was saying in totality is be careful being a hoe. See, that's what she said. That's what I think she was saying. I said she be careful being a hoe. Because you might become an older hoe one day and try to change your life and turn your life over to the Lord Jesus Christ. And all your hoes gonna track you down. That's what she was talking about. So I can't wait to hear y'all opinions on this one. I'm looking at the people that got the most confused faces. I'm gonna hit them up last. I'm gonna start with Nada, then I'm gonna go Ida, then I'm gonna Danny, and then we're gonna hit the bottom. We're gonna hit the duo couple down here that just been fucking with us all night long. So let's go.
So if you know that you a hoe, have always been a hoe, and will continue to be a hoe, don't get married. And if you gonna be a hoe, be a good hoe. Don't be a cheap hoe, be an expensive hoe. If you're not a hoe, but you kind of have hoe-like qualities, if you decide to get married, do that with your boo. That's all.
Exactly, 100%.
All right, come on, Ida.
I'm mad at you now talking about being, but you are, like you say, when you trying to be something, you got to be the best of it. But I don't fully agree, but I do agree with some of it because just because you get married as a virgin doesn't always mean that it's gonna last.
That's true. A nigga could leave your
Hi, prime example. Hello, everybody. That was me, but that doesn't always work. Like you say, when you're that one and only, you don't hold around. You ain't sleeping with this, you ain't sleeping, and that's the only person you sleep with. It ain't always that. You can have the lowest body count and no body count, and your husband is the only body count. It doesn't mean that they won't cheat or they won't step out.
Okay, let's go ahead, Danny. You can let your hair flip out. I've seen all that shit. Come on, talk to me.
Yeah. Come on,
and she on mute.
I
She's so confused.
I got a question really quick before I can proceed. Can someone tell me what the definition of being a hoe is?
That's a good
question.
I think that this is a
Russ would have to give you that definition.
No, check this out. No, I think that what a hoe is going to be different to everybody online.
Thank you.
But if you have a perception of a hoe, then you can take it from that angle.
No, I don't have a perception of a hoe. That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
Because see, again, like you just said, everybody has a different thing of what a hoe is. For what in the context is what she's talking about. She's saying your body count is what makes you a hoe. And then she said that if a woman has had sex with a certain amount of men, that if she's not a virgin on her wedding night, that she's more like, I'm gonna need us to really get out of this misogynist thought process that we are supposed to be pure, and as though we don't have a sex drive, as though I don't want to nut just as much as you want to nut, and that I don't feel sexy like you feel, or whatever. You can. I was not a virgin when I got married.
Okay, now, what I'm thinking of when you referring to that, right, is I'm thinking of the different times that we've gone through, and when I say the
different times that
we've gone through, the times have changed. Like, prime example, when I was in high school, if there was a conversation about somebody being gay, that person would be trashed in the school. That was the mentality of the children that were around me at that time. Now I work in education. And the first day that I worked in education, my mind was fucked up. Because I saw guys walking through, like, dressed fully as women with nails, and I was like, oh, this is a different fucking world. You understand what I'm saying? So I think, like, different people, we got to look at this conversation, and that's why I said it falls in different areas for different people, because it deals with your background. Listen, I'm saying it deals with your background. It could deal with what your religious beliefs are. You know what I'm saying? It could deal with, that conversation of what a whore is and how they're perceived. It is perceived differently by different people. Because there are some women that are completely, do the wildest shit, and I know some niggas that would hook up with them at the drop of a dime to get with them, and I know other niggas that would not touch them with a 10-foot pole. So the perception of both of those conversations are two different conversations. So to deal with them like they're all in one, I can't. I have to look at what, I gotta, some, like, in some things, like I said earlier in the show, some things that you believe in and that you got to go through. When we watched that clip about the chick in the racist spot, I said, man, sometimes you got to pick your fights. Sometimes because you don't know those were two separate perceptions, two different worlds, and you couldn't tell neither one of them that they were right or wrong.
And life in love is not one size fits all. You can't just pick and choose. Well, I'm going to go with this group of people because it makes sense that they should do this. No, everybody is different. And how many people I've slept with is going to dictate whether I cheat. Then we have to go into the definition of what cheating really is. That's a whole nother conversation. I need to understand what one has anything to do with the other.
I see we got some hands raised up over here.
Let me help.
In the corner.
Let me help.
No.
Come on, no, hold on. To be fair, hold on. Just so I can be fair, because he did leave for a while and you had the floor for a while.
Okay, so here you go. Okay.
So let him go.
That New York shit. That's what I'm talking about, man. Damn. So look.
Turn the phone sideways so we can see y'all, man.
All right, yes. So look. This is where I am with it. I'm a retired thought. Let's start there. It's a difference between being a thought and a whore. A whore, as they would, the way my mind works, if you're going out here lying to people, telling them y'all gonna be in a relationship, you considering it, but you got like 15 sneaky links on the back end they don't know about, all these bros you introducing motherfuckers to that you didn't fuck. Oh, this bro right here, everybody bro, but you know what everybody bro look like, dick look like, whether they got the hook or whether they straight narrow, then you're a whore.
But if you do it, you get props though.
No, don't let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish. We're gonna keep this real. I know y'all stay together, but you gotta let him go. Go ahead.
So again, that is a problem. I was a thought. There's a different definition for that with me. I fucked a lot of women, and guess what? I told every last one of them, we just fucking. And as soon as you call me and tell me that you got feelings for me, oh, I love you, Nas, you the fucking goat. Block. Bitch, I'm not talking to you because that's not what I'm in here for. I'm in here for my name is Chuck, and I'm here to fuck. That's literally it. That's it. Now look, I don't discriminate. I tell all my nieces, I told my sister, all y'all gonna have y'all thought phase. That's okay. But don't get to sit out here lying to motherfuckers. Let me use your car. Hey, can you pay my phone bill today? I might love you tomorrow and all that bullshit. Because then that qualifies you as a whore. I'm a retired thought. I have my gold jacket. I'm entered into the fucking Hall of Fame. I know this shit very well. I am the GOAT.
All right, now we gotta give the rebuttal. We gotta pass that phone, G. We gotta hit a rebuttal.
It's male justification bullshit. There's no difference between no thought and no hoe. What you just said. If you stuck your dick in a whole bunch of bitches, you a hoe. But the difference is when we do it.
Move your hand from the mic. Your hand is over the mic.
When we do it and we got the same sexual drive, we consider hoes. When you do it, you get props. Oh, I fucked this bitch, that bitch, da-da-da-da. Thought and hoe, all that other bullshit. You got ulterior. If she open her legs and fuck a whole bunch of niggas, just like you open your fucking leg and fuck a whole bunch of bitches, it's still hoeing. Like that, there's no difference. And in this clip, she made it seem like it's only women that do this, but men are fucking hoes too. Like,
so what you saying is, so this is what you're saying.
We get labeled hoes. We get labeled as damaged goods, and we need to be virgins because y'all won't fuck us, but we gotta accept y'all for fucking the whole fucking neighborhood.
So what you're saying is this. So hold on one second. So what you're saying is
it's a double standard.
No. Listen what I'm saying. Wait, whoa, calm down. Don't get mad at me because you mad at that nigga over there. Calm down.
I'm just saying.
Calm down. Let me say this. Wait a minute. Let me say this. Wait a minute. Whoa, calm down because we about to end the show. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I hear you saying. That you have an honest whore and you have a dishonest whore. That's what he should be saying as opposed to this whore shit. Right?
It doesn't matter whether you honest or dishonest. You a whore. That's what it is. Male or female. But they only counted towards females being whores and men being like congratulated because they don't fuck all the whores or even shared some of the whores because I done heard some of your stories. Yeah, right. But if we do that, we fucking hoes. They get congratulated. It's a double standard. So what defines a whore? Because doing that
understand this. Listen though, this is where I agree, but I disagree with you. Because I got certain niggas that I know, I don't fuck with their mentality. I fuck with them, but I don't fuck with their mentality. I don't fuck with what they you feel what I'm saying? How they getting down with shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some niggas is fucking with some females, and I be like, yo, G, this shit gonna turn real bad real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fucking around, this bitch gonna fuck around and cut you. You know what I'm saying? But I do hear what let me say this. I do understand what he was saying about there being a difference between a person that is just being sexually open and a person that's being sexually open with several people and they're not telling the truth about it. Right. And they telling one nigga like you my nigga, I fuck with you. And as opposed to that man, as opposed to him being one of the niggas that she's fucking with. That's what I hear the difference in what
there is no difference. If she's sexually open, she's fucking who she want to fuck regardless. So,
but no, listen. I'm asking you this. Is there a difference if you met somebody right now and they said, listen, I'm open, listen, I got other women, I'm doing what I do, I'm not looking for a relationship. And do you look at that differently from if you met a man and he was like, yo, baby, you the one. And then you find out on the side that he been fucking 4 other bitches on the side. Do you not look at that differently? I do because he has told. Wait a minute, let me tell you why. Let me finish. I look at it differently because he has told you in the door I have other things going on. I'm not looking to be in a relationship. That nigga that's telling you, you my baby, I love you, and he's still doing that other shit on the side, those are two different niggas. I can't put them in the same category.
Right, that's
That
what I'm
may be
saying.
true, but we know how we gonna deal with you before we deal with you regardless. So we could still chase that dream if we really were crazy enough and be like, he says he got, you know,
No, I'm not talking about the dream. I'm not talking about the dream. I'm talking about the reality, like right now. If I meet a woman right now and I say, yo, baby, I like you. What's up? What's going on? And she tells me like, yo, I'm openly dating. I'm doing me. As opposed to me meeting her and she says, and I say, yo, baby, I like you. What's up? And she says, I like you too. You my man. I'm gonna make you my man. And I find out that she's fucking a bunch of motherfuckers, and she hasn't been honest with me. As opposed to the person. Wait a minute. As opposed to the person that told me from the get-go, yo, I'm doing me. I can't put them in the same category. I can't.
That's exactly what I just said.
Absolutely.
It's a totally different thing. And I don't discriminate. I don't give a fuck with Susie or Karen, whatever the fuck her name was talking about. I don't care about none of that. At the end of the day, I don't discriminate. If it was a dude doing it, you thotting. If it's a chick doing it, you thotting. In my opinion, everybody got their thought phase. Again, LeBron James on the fucking microphone. It is what it is. I don't care about, the gender doesn't make a fucking difference. And everybody, this crazy, it's a human nature, just like you said. Everybody, the one thing we all gonna do, eat, fuck, shit, and piss. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care what letter of the alphabet you claim it. It does not matter. You're all gonna do that. So I'm not gonna judge somebody for doing what the fuck they gonna do naturally. I will judge you if I find out you on some bullshit. Like, oh, I really want to see what's up with you. I'm solely interested in you. Let's see what's going on. And I find out Craig just picked you up last week. You just sucked Tyrone's dick. Tony is paying for your Netflix account. But you invested in me. Yeah, motherfucker, we got a problem. We have a problem. So it's a difference. It's not a difference in sexual orientation. It's a difference in fucking mentality. Like, how could you do that shit to somebody? When I'm thotting, I'm thotting. It's a well-known fact. Like I said, don't catch feelings for me, baby. I'm in these streets right now. You know, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I see we finally got Corey online. Corey, can you hear us now? Can you? Let's see if we hear Corey. He disappeared again. All right, y'all, listen. We at our time where we're about to cut off this conversation. We don't want to hold people too long. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please tune in next week. Next week will be we will be celebrating Ida's birthday. Sham boom 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 bang bang. And we will also we will be finishing up this conversation of love, when to give up on love, when to start a new love. And next week we're gonna talk about, this week we talked about giving up on it. But next week we're gonna talk about when you gave up on some shit that you might have recognized that you should have stuck on to. So we're gonna talk about all that shit next week. I appreciate that. There go my girl Kim. That's one of the founders of the organization. I still love you, baby. You got to get your goddamn computer and get your ass back online, but I love you anyway. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I thank everybody for sharing. I want to thank my hopefully, I don't know. I hope I see y'all two next week. I hope I see all three of y'all next week, but we'll talk about it later. But you are more than welcome to come join the conversation on Tuesday and expand this. Shout out to Shantae in her absence. I appreciate you for jumping down and tagging and posting. She had to work tonight, so that's why she's not with us tonight. And everybody else that's a part of the show. I love y'all. We'll be back next week. Keep talking that shit. Just because the show over with don't mean you can't stop sharing. Let's go, bitches.